All right, looks like we're live. It's another Friday, options expiration day. Be taking a big look at Max Payne this morning, as we keep in mind what plays we want to jump into. Um, Thank you everybody who's in here early. I appreciate it. It's 5 a.m. over here on the West Coast. Getting excited about the market today. Noar's in the house. JSOB, Joseph Scott, what's up? Dennis D. Webistics, happy Friday. What's up? While we're waiting for some people to come in, I'm gonna just look at yesterday's watch list that we put together. Had a second day of some pretty decent trades. Um, the first one was TMC. I had entered originally way back here around 11, the day before on a Wednesday afternoon in after hours, and woke up to a nice surprise. I think I exited, from what I recall, somewhere around here. So got in around 11, got out around 14. But I had it on yesterday's watch list. That was the first one I put on. And I think I jumped back in right around here, which wasn't really a great entry point, but I wanted to see it break above VWAP. It was late in the day. Got in around 1275, and I'm actually down a little bit on that right now. I didn't exit. Usually I don't hold stocks overnight, but this was one that I think still has some momentum going into today. So, I mean, especially after what I made on the first go around, I felt like it wouldn't be that bad to kind of hold on to that one. Next one on the watch list from yesterday was Opad. That was the big runner yesterday. And that's one that, was gapping up big time in pre-market. Saw a nice flush early, and again I jumped on once it got above VWAP. I think somewhere in this $16 range. And I actually sold here at 19. And then stayed out, and then jumped in again when it crossed VWAP. And I ended up not making much and getting out at 18. So it was like somewhere around this 1780 range. And I ended up, dumping out somewhere in this 1850 range. But it was still a decent trade. This one's getting wrecked right now this morning, down to 16.7. Looks like it hit a high of 2260 right around the bell, and has just been dropping ever since. And then IRNT. Same thing, hit a high of 60 yesterday. And really is just, I mean, there was an opportunity to make some money in there yesterday. If you were, and that's the big thing I should say too. Like a lot of these plays that I'm calling out or bringing up on here, and we've been finding on these scanners, these are just high volume movers. And so when you play these things, you want to make sure you have a nice tight stop loss or a mental stop loss. You don't want to be bag holding. These things are trading well above where they're, probably where they're even supposed to be at. They're just coming up on high volume scanners, and they've got potential for big explosive moves, but that goes in both directions. So I was kind of too busy yesterday. I didn't get a piece of any of this action, but there was definitely a nice range in there from 35 to 47. For a stock to be trading in that range throughout the day, there was definitely some opportunities for some good entry points. IRNT is one that's intriguing me already this morning too, just looking at it. I think Chef Daddy had sent me a message this morning that let me see if this is, I'm going to check the Vortex right now. Yeah, cost to borrow on IRNT right now is at 488 with 100% utilization. So it would not shock me at all if all of a sudden this stock just continued to, go on a nice little run here this morning. But we'll get into all those in a second. INDP was another one I didn't play at all. That was on yesterday's watch list. Not a lot going on there. And then GREE is one that I had my eyes on. And not much happened. It wasn't on yesterday's watch list, but I was watching it from the day before. I still had the ticker up. I ended up jumping in on GREE somewhere around here, but more of a long-term position, which we can get into another day. But I think that this one is going to be an explosive mover down the road. But that wasn't really like a day trade or anything like that. And then LPTX was the last one on the watch list yesterday. I was looking for a breakout of 317 to really look to ride this thing, just basing off two previous resistance going back like 3 years. And it got up there and wanted to break through it in pre-market. Didn't happen. But this was another one that had a nice range for anyone who ended up day trading it. I did not, but it went, ran from 225 to 276. So, a lot of movement in there. So, Day Late says Opad TMC think they'll get hammered down today like CLOV. I mean, Opad's getting wrecked right now. I think I just pulled that up a second ago, but there was some great opportunities for day trading on that yesterday. Huge range, running from 1381 all the way up to 20. There's a lot of movement in there, and then again, entry points down here. I think I played it here at somewhere around VWAP and got out, but this thing's getting absolutely wrecked right now. I don't know. Let's take a look at the scanners and see what's getting volume this morning. See if we can find some new ones. But again, I just want to make sure and point out, like, this is different. When we talk about CLOV and the value of it and buying into CLOV, or VIH, I was saying is, and I still believe is, high reward, low risk, because it's trading right above NAV and it's got some nice potential. Those are the type of plays you can load into and hold. Some of these ones, these are like day traders. Get in for quick pops. They're going to be moving, jump in, jump out type of deal. And I want to make sure and emphasize that you don't want to be holding these stocks. At least I don't, because I don't know enough about them. I'm not doing research on them. I'm just looking at the float size, the volume, and looking for opportunities to, day trade these stocks. What's up, Big Nate, Jim Larson, JJ, Noar? Noar says also on the West Coast. Jalen, what's up? 1 year CLOV price predictions. I don't know. I mean, I think it should be trading around 30 right now, and within the next year or two, I'm thinking triple digits. So that's me. I know that's a little bit more optimistic. Some people have said, for a 1 year out, a little bit less. And I think it might take a year and a half, but I think the growth of that company is going to all of a sudden just start becoming larger and larger to the point to where the stock starts growing exponentially. Sir Lucky Charms, what's up? Jason Kenneth says I'm long on CLOV. This will put my girls through college. Day late, dollar short. Good morning. Friday's the only day I can catch you live. All right, well, I'm glad you could be here. Pete, what's up? Brooks says SDC's gonna go. L Train's in the house. Turks McGurts, Grimzo, Scotty Z. It's Scotty Z Friday. Michael, 6'8" Spindrift, Cuckoo Bird. Good morning. All right, let's look at this scanner real quick. So we just went over yesterday's watch list. I think there was some great opportunities to trade in there and grab a little cash. This has been kind of fun. I'm going to continue to do it. Let's look at this list real quick. So top volume right now, IPHA. We're looking at a daily chart on it. Looks like it already kind of hit a pop. Trading in this $3 range. The other day it jumped up to $9, and take a look at the 5-minute chart. There's not a lot going on there, but I know this also came up on a L train scanner too. He had hit me up about this one this morning. Let me take a look here. I've just been checking Ortex on all these plays just to see if they're also like, have some squeeze potential in there, or if they're just getting some hype on something else. Where did my news ticker go? Pull that up real quick. Sorry guys, I woke up kind of late this morning. Presented results from randomized COAST phase 2 drug trial. Okay. So this is a pharmaceutical play. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking on this one. Next one we got is SDC. This is one that I said last week I was going to put, or yesterday I was going to put on my watch list for next week. Just because it was trading so close to max pain. Max pain on this one was $5.50. And I just felt like it was kind of in that zone where it could kind of get pinned down because it was so close. Volume's been picking up on it. Looks like yesterday, the volume's still staying up. I had another green day. This does still look pretty bullish here. This chart, I like it. It's nice and clean. If we look at the 5-minute, it gapped up again last night, right before the close. It's trading at 650. I mean, that's almost a 10% gain off the close. 9.3%. Looks like maybe max pain's not going to be an issue on this one. Let's look at the options chain. So 550 is that max pain number, but so many calls already in the money here at $6 and at 650, and at 7. If we can get above there, float's only 100 million. So this is quite a bit of open interest considering the size of the float. I would say you probably need about 10,000 to make something move, and you got 30,000 here. 11,000. So if we can then get above 15,000, I could see this one having a little bit of a push. Trading at 6 right now, it does have the ability to probably double from where it's at. If it can get moving, just be wary that max pain's at 550 and there is a gap, right? So if all of a sudden there becomes a gap fill on this stock and it starts heading back down to 6 to fill that gap before it runs, it'll probably end up getting pinned down there and stuck right between 550 and 6, because that's where it's going to be most profitable. Like if market makers can drive this thing to 599, that's what they're going to do. And there's a gap there. So I'm going to put it on the watch list, but this was already one that I had on my watch list for next week because I figured let's wait for it to get past max pain. It's also at the top of the no, it's not. I thought it was at the top of the FINTEL short squeeze list, but it's not. I'm gonna look up Ortex data on that one, and it does look like it's at, what do we got? 48% short interest is pretty damn high. Cost to borrow is low right now. Utilization is 95. If we look at today, cost to borrow is starting to rise. Yeah, I still kind of feel the same way about this one. I really, I put it on the watch list right now as a maybe, but I really think max pain's something we're going to have to worry about there. questions on CLOV. I'm starring right now, and then I'll get to them as soon as we're done kind of going through this pre-market list. Pat M, good morning. Not a F and CLEU. I got your question. I'll look at it in a second. But it does look like SDC starting to move right now. I mean, it could be something that maybe you could trade a little bit right now in pre-market. I would just be wary of like a gap fill off the open. We've been seeing that a lot, and it's not far away from this gap. So that's what I'll be looking for there. Lucid is coming up on the volume scanner, and if we zoom out a little bit, it hit a ton of volume here when it hit this kind of all-time low since it became Lucid, but $16 and started bouncing up. Has a couple gaps in here. If we look at what's happening with it this morning, it did start running up a lot. I need to change this news. There we go. Looks like yesterday they had some news rated at 520 miles of range. Official EPA rating of 520. So this is all off good news. Started gapping up. Closed yesterday at 21. Came up here and hit 23. Now it's heading back down. But because of the volume, if this could be one that maybe potentially has the ability, to kind of day trade a little bit. I don't know what the ATR on it is, but typically when you're looking to day trade something, you want to take a look at the true range, okay, the ATR, and make sure that there's enough movement in there. Like just because a stock's moving up or getting a lot of volume, if the range on it isn't there, you're not going to have an opportunity to make as much money on it. I'm going to turn my ATR on this. There we go. Okay, so that was Lucid. I think I'm writing it down, but I think there might be some other ones that we could look at instead. And Apple, what's this? ABCL. ABCL, here's the daily chart. Looks like it just hit like all-time lows recently. Has been as high as 70. Is kind of trending upwards. And it's gapping up right now. It's up 13% in pre-market. I don't see any news specific. Here we go. Expanded FDA emergency use authorization for COVID-19 antibody therapy. It's up 10%. Looks like maybe it's this could be pretty interesting. I'm gonna put that down here too. Something to come take a look at in a little bit. So then top increases in volume. Let's see what we got here. We already looked at IPFA. Yeah, that looks a little too choppy for me. Come back here and keep looking down this list. So we got Opad on here. Opad's got a pretty decent trying to see. I mean, it's actually going to have a gap up now. It's gapping down, but if we look at the daily chart on this one, it's still got some significant gaps to fill down here. I could see this one potentially coming down to 12. Right now it's looking at even opening up at 18, which is going to be down here. And there's always that potential. And then before it takes back off, I don't know if I would hold this. I mean, you might have some good day trading opportunities in here. But it's definitely coming down off its highs. I'm not saying that the run is over, but you want to look for these entry and exit points. Right now, just based off what we've looked at, it seems like I don't really like what we're seeing on the scanner too much. So I'm going to go back to yesterday's watch list and just take a look. And then we'll take a look at the FINTEL short squeeze report. But, actually, let's just do that. Let's take a look at Vortex data on some of these. So Vortex data right now on TMC, it's not giving us an update on the estimated short interest of free float. It is saying 730 shares on loan. Cost to borrow is at 33. Utilization's at 92. This is a very small float stock, 30 million. So, and this was one that we were talking about yesterday, had gamma squeeze potential. Max pain for this one is down here at 10. And it's already got the 10 and the 11 strike in the money. It's looking to maybe open up above 1250. And that would give some potential to maybe get a little bit of a run there. So I kind of like what I see there just because it's so far above max pain. I seen someone ask if I'm still in BNGO. Yeah, I got that's one of my long-term positions that I'm still holding. And I see BNGO's popping a little bit right now. So TMC's one I'm going to keep on the watch list along with SDC. I like that cost to borrow that we were talking about earlier with what was that one? IRNT. Pull that one up. There's a high cost to borrow. It is seeing a little bit of a decrease in volume compared to recent days, but I think trading at 35. Again, if we take a look at max pain on this one, max pain's at 30. It's well above there right now, so that's not something that I'm concerned about. And it still has the potential here because if we look at the float size, it's only 57 million float. So these numbers are pretty significant when we start looking in here and see like 6,000 calls outweighing puts, 4,000 here. It does look like open interest kind of changed a little bit, and we got some puts in here. So actually, I don't even know if I'm looking for IRNT actually, but there is a high cost to borrow. Yeah, if I had to pick a couple that I was gonna maybe keep on the watch list, I would probably say SDC, TMC, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add Opad just because there's so much volatility there that I'm just gonna look for some opportunities to day trade a little bit on that one. So not a lot, not too much today. I don't know. It seems like things maybe because it's options expiration. Seems like maybe at least right now I'm not liking too much of what I'm seeing. I saw somebody asked in the chat about BBIG, and I'll go over those ones right now. But what I'm looking at is I had made a note yesterday that stocks that I want to come back and circle back to next week, and that would be BBIG, ATER, GREE, GREE, and SDC. Even though SDC is one that I might look to trade a little bit today, and it could be where there's no no opportunities to take a trade today, and that's fine too. Pull up GREE. It looks like it's not really hitting much volume right now. BBIG, The only reason I was saying that about BBIG and some of those other ones is they're just so close to max pain right now, and we've seen what happens with that, right? So because we didn't get a big move. Now we're on options expiration Friday, and it's kind of like, why go in and dump some money into something right now, or try to trade something that you almost know is going to be pinned down, especially if you're looking to like build a position into a squeeze play. I like BBIG as a squeeze play, um, along with some of these other ones. I wouldn't try to get into a position today. I don't see anything happening today. Um, but yeah, so let's get into kind of the or Noir says ABCL. Let's check that one out. And nice little jump here. Looks like it closed the day somewhere around 1980. Went as high as 25, and as of this line right here represents the switch from yesterday's after hours to today's pre-market. So it looks like it came down a little bit. So we looked at this one a little while ago too. I don't know. I don't really like much that I'm looking at here today in terms of runners, but I still have these other ones that I'm going to be looking at: SDC, TMC, you know, IRNT, because I have the room on my charts. I got like 12 charts over here, so I know I'll still end up having like LPTX and some of these other ones still up on there. And occasionally you'll see something run, I start running out of the blue. So I like to keep these other days watch lists up too. But and I still think LPTX, if it starts running, if it heads above this 317, it's got the ability to really go parabolic. So that's one I'll be watching too. But I don't know, just I'm not liking what I'm feeling today in terms of trading. Kamal says check out yesterday's ticker, ESPR. I forgot about that one. Oh yeah, I remember we were talking about. Yep. Relatively small float, and I think that was kind of the same one we were talking about. How it was kind of like right near max pain, and it looks like, oh shit, it's saying max pain on this is 1750. That can't be right. Yeah, this is way below max pain. That's a lot different than what we saw yesterday. I'll tell you that much. From what I recall. $34 short interest right now. Where we at? 27 million float, 80% utilization. Cost to borrow is going up a little bit. And this thing is hella beaten down. So, I'm gonna throw this on my watch list too, like especially like my next week watch list. Just as like a potential long term. It doesn't look like it's getting any volume right now. But that looks pretty intriguing. Looks like it had a nice run yesterday too. Yeah, a lot of range in that one. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that on my watch list too. Come on. All right. Sorry guys, I'm so behind in the chat. I'm gonna just start from scratch. We're gonna come right up here to the beginning. Kyle Miller says it's really nice to hear honesty when nothing looks great. Yeah, I mean, I've been in those situations in the past where it's like you start looking at stuff and nothing's really looking great, and then you try to force something, or you're frustrated about some other stock that you're into, and you really want to have a big Friday, and then you end up jumping into stuff and just throwing money away. And sometimes, and I'm not saying I'm not going to trade today, but I had some nice days yesterday and the day before. And now that I'm looking at it, I mean, there's definitely some movers this morning. There's some volume going into some stuff. I don't know. I don't want to force nothing, Chef Daddy, what's up? Good morning. David Johnson. Mark, no, I'm actually a video productions teacher. Mark says, how do you find Max Payne? So there's this website. It's free. I'm all about using free resources when we can. Maximum-pain.com. You just go click on options and then type in whatever you want to look for. It'll show you the stock price, what the max pain is, and then if you kind of come down, they give you a bunch of more information. But really, I think if you just know that number, you can kind of see. And max pain's not something that you always have to worry about. It's something that I don't always worry about, but especially with these highly manipulated stocks like short squeeze stocks and things like that have a ton of call volume coming in and that sort of thing. I feel like if they have the opportunity to pin it there, they absolutely will. Sometimes the stock price is too far ahead of it though. Like if we look at like a SDC, for instance, right now, I think is trading at, where was it at? It's currently at 654. No, Max Payne's 550, so it's about $1 ahead. So I mean, if it continues to go up and they lose it, they'll lose it for the day, and it'll run. But a lot of times they are able to pin that thing down there. Zeke for Bleak, what's up? All right, so let's talk a little CLOV. So let me get this watch list going right here. So TMC, there we go. SDC is the other one that I really think has some potential this morning. I like the way that looks. I need to get all these damn lines off here. They're starting to drive me crazy. Let me do something real quick. All right. And these windows are just too small to have all those damn lines up. It's pissing me off. All right. So TMC, SDC, and I'll put Opad up right now. I don't have a position in it or nothing, but just kind of see. I think that one's got probably the most room for movement right now, because it's gapping down hard, but it has a big gap to fill to the downside too. So that thing could break in any direction. I'll be sitting here watching it. All right, so let's talk CLOV a little bit. Actually, hold on, Chef. Can't ignore Chef Daddy. Chef Daddy says LILM should be a safe play. IPO, electric air taxi with a $17 price target, around 11 now. IRNT, LCID, PLTR if retest. Also, Ford and possible reversals on BB and CHPT. It's a lot of information, Chef Daddy. You know what though? You did remind me. In terms of social sentiment, I was looking this morning, and I didn't go over that, but GameStop, SDC, CLOV, those are all stocks we've been talking about, but PLTR is one that did pop up. So um, just see what's going on there. I know it's been ripping for a couple days now, and looks to kind of still be moving right now in pre-market. So, and I think I just saw a text message. That Lucid also has a let's see here. Lucid got an increased price target, so but I think he said 30, so I don't know how much more room there is for movement, but it doesn't mean the analyst price targets don't always mean everything anyways. So you said LILM. Let's take a look at that one. Price target of 17. Damn, it was trading at 884 recently. Oh, recent IPO. That's a shitty chart to look at. All right. And then what else did you say there? IRNT we looked at already. Possible reversals on BB. I haven't looked at BB in quite a while. Let's see what's going on there. I look like it got hammered down a little bit recently. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not really I mean, I'm sure I'll end up hopping into something today, but just wait for something to kind of pop out at me. So CLOV came down yesterday, hit as low as 807, which, it seems like every day they've been able to push this stock down about another 10 cents. 835, 825, 811, and then yesterday 807. And then now we're kind of trending upwards. We've been seeing this. Max pain on the week. There is a ton of options expiring today. Max pain's 850. We're kind of right in that range. This is where they're going to try to pin it to. We saw some news come in yesterday on the stock. Let me see here. Yeah, yesterday we saw Clover Health was going to provide in-home COVID vaccines, partnership with MedArrive. We saw a little bit of increase in volume right around then, and then nothing doing. The thing got kind of hammered down again, and it just looks like right now they're able to control this thing, at least in the short term, or at least over the last like 2 to 3 months, we've been able to break free a couple times, but. Fluffer, what's up? Good morning. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not selling any of my position. I still think this is the long-term play. Getting in at $8 right now, there's so much potential for this stock. This is a stock that should be trading 3 times where it's at. I feel like a broken record because I'm saying this all the time, but patience is the key. I really, yeah, there's opportunities to jump in and out and day trade other stuff, and that's all great. And I've been doing that, but whenever I make some extra cash, what I'm always doing is either taking profits and transfer money to my bank account, or using that cash that I make to add on to my long-term positions. The positions that I have conviction in. And right now, I would say the biggest one is CLOV. Because when I started doing this channel, I was mostly GameStop and trading. And before GameStop, I was never a holder at all. Like I would rarely hold stocks overnight in my trading account. It was always get in and out or hit a swing trade. Swing trades, obviously you're staying in overnight, but playing momentum. And but I just see such a huge opportunity here that, now, even as I've been making money trading and swing trading and doing everything else, I've said this, I think, for the last month and a half, my CLOV position is bigger than my GameStop position now, because I really feel that it's a safer play. And it's got, at this point, way more reward built into it. I'm not saying GameStop isn't going to go crazy. I still have my GameStop position too, but I think when you just look at this company, take the squeezes and everything else out of the equation, trading at $8.20 right now, should be trading somewhere closer to 30, and has the potential to be trading in triple digits down the road. It's just it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't think there's too many stocks you could find on the market like that. Big Nate says Palantir sounds like a great company. Hell yeah, I love PLTR. I don't hold a position right now, but the technology that they have, again, I think is going to continue to grow and disrupt. And they've got a lot of government contracts, and that's a long-term one for me. I think that's similar to a CLOV, like a stock you can get in and just hold. But also a stock that experiences a lot of volatility. One day I'll probably build a position there, but I don't have a position in PLTR right now. Brooks says quad witching is today, right? Yeah, quad witching is today. My experience with quad witching has, I feel like a lot of the volatility is leading up to it. At least in the recent, probably I'd say maybe the last 7 quarters or so that I've seen in trading, I haven't seen, a ton of volatility, at least. And it could just be maybe the stocks that I've been looking at, but yeah, quad witching is typically a day of high volatility. But like I said, I really feel like recently it's been more of a, and I'm saying recently, like over the last year and a half, 2 years, it's been more of a, volatility leading up to it, like getting up to that point. And I think that's maybe what we've already seen. I don't know if there's going to be too much volatility today, but I mean, that's just my speculation. Michael says 7 red days in a row. Chances are we will likely finish green today. My uneducated guess is that we finish around 820. Yeah, I could see that. I think with any of these highly manipulated stocks, anything's possible at any time. And if we look at CLOV's option chain, and I know we've talked about this so many times, but like, you start to look at like the amount of calls that are in the money outweighing puts all the way down this thing. All it takes is one pop, right? So if all of a sudden you get either news or a major player coming in and trying to push the stock up or whatever it may be, all it's going to take is an influx, and that can come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, get this thing moving. One story I'll tell you, like back in January, and this was when I think GameStop might have been trading somewhere in the $30 range. My memory could, so many tickers and all this other stuff, and it used to be way more memorable. But it was, GameStop was trading somewhere in that $30 to $40 range and kind of trading flat, and it looked like the stock wasn't going to go anywhere. And then all of a sudden, I want to say early afternoon, it just saw this huge increase of volume come out of nowhere, and push it past a couple strike prices, and it hit a gamma squeeze on a Friday, and went absolutely wild. And that was on a Friday, so I mean, max pain's always a thing until it's not. And that's why I say, like, outside of CLOV, fundamentally, when you start looking at the other potential it has, like a lot of these other stocks we pointed out too, but all this open interest on the option chain, if all of a sudden we saw some huge push that got the stock above 9, above 10, we could see fireworks today, you know. Um, but I'm excited. I think at some point it'll happen, whether it's an explosive move, a slow stair stepping, whatever it may be. But at some point, the stock's going to get back to where it needs to be trading at. Vatino says BBIG up or down today. Short's going to try to crush this stock by end of day. I have options that are out of the money that expired today. Ooh, out of the money expiring today, probably not looking too good. I mean, it's trying to move up right now. That was one that I had put on my watch list for next week. I still think that it's still a squeeze play. But like for instance, right now max pain is 850, and so you're gonna see that's a lot of volume right there too. 312,000 out of nowhere. You're going to see short sellers or market makers, options writers trying to pin this price below 850, and so it's kind of got like a cap on it. That doesn't mean it can't run past that, but because it's already below there and we're close to the end of the week, I mean we're here. It's Friday. It's options expiration day. That's why I kind of chose to stay off it yesterday, just because we were kind of underneath that mark or so close to it. I think yesterday we were down here at 8. It did have some nice little range there yesterday. If anyone who was maybe day trading that looks pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know. I would say my one recommendation would be, and obviously this isn't financial advice, but if it was me, depending on how out of the money they are, I don't know how far down you are on them, but if you were to see a little spike today, let's say if all of a sudden you see something like this and it starts running up, cut your options. If all of a sudden you see a nice little spike and you're able to exit even at a small loss as opposed to losing everything, because the longer you hold it, I would just go into today with the expectation that it's going to close right around 850. Now, and that's just being rather be safe than sorry. You know what I mean? So if that doesn't mean it can't get above 850 today, we might gap up and continue to gap up through the pre-market right now and end up, trading around 9. But if we open the market at 9, I would just sell. Try to get your as much money as you can back for those things. I don't know what strike price they're at, but yeah. Skip says, "Did you see the CLOV $17 price target from Seeking Alpha?" Yes, I did. And that's one that I think anybody can kind of submit to them. I mean, I'm not saying it's not great. It's not good news. It absolutely is. But I mean, it's basically like a blogger post at that. You know what I mean? That came up on their headline. So, I don't know if that's really going to get the juices going this morning and get more people into this stock. It could. But I think we want to see some real analysts come out with those price targets, and that I'm hoping that'll happen at some point soon. Brooks says he's getting some FDs on SDC. I mean, so many of these stocks have this gamma squeeze potential. Yesterday we were talking about TMC and even Opad, I think, and a couple other ones, and they all gave us some nice runs. And I think that we still kind of have that same potential today. Like if TMC continues to, let's take a look at the options real quick on these and see what we can expect. So like with SDC, if it holds this level, we're gonna see an increase of buying here that maybe could push us to 7, and maybe give us a nice little run up to like 850 or something like that, before they start trying to hammer it back down back to this 550 mark. And this is just based off the option chain. I'm just glancing. This isn't any technical analysis or anything else, which you're going to want to do on your own if you're looking to enter or exit. I'm just talking about pure option chain on these low float stocks. Same thing with TMC. It's already looking to open up with a ton of options in the money that haven't been fully hedged. If that happens to move it higher, I really like the gamma squeeze potential here. I really do. I think TMC might be the mover today. But I like both of them. I like SDC and TMC for today. Colin says the new logo is fire. Yeah, I got bored and I was just playing around in Photoshop one day. I got so many other things I should be doing, so I shouldn't say I got bored. I was procrastinating. But thank you. Let's see. Noah says I got Seahawks logos on the colors on the logo. Speaking of football, let's see here. So 2 things. I think Ghost is gonna be coming on in a little bit, and then Scotty's gonna be coming on in a little bit. But if you go to those of you that are in the pool, don't forget to submit your picks. We have that NFL pick'em going on right now. It's I think it's too late for new entries because we already started, but we do have 39 entries in it. Should be a lot of fun. I don't know if looks like there's a couple people who haven't picked yet for this week. So if you haven't picked for this week, go ahead and go make a new pick. Also, just speaking of football, so Ghost has been me and Ghost started a show called NFL No Financial Limits, and we talk stocks for the first half of the show, and then we turn it around at halftime and start talking NFL. Make picks, gambling picks. We both did pretty good last week. We went 5-3 each against the spread, which isn't bad at all. I mean, even professional gamblers are, try to get as right above 50% is where most people are at, and I'm sure we'll have our bad weeks too, but we had a nice start. So we talk about football, maybe a little fantasy, what's happening in the NFL too. So it's a lot of fun. And like I said, Ghost will be on here in a little bit. And that reminds me too, once he gets on here, I got to throw his YouTube channel or did I already? All right, when he gets on here, I'll let him talk and I'll go in there and start messing around. Looks like BBIG is popping a little bit right now though. I'm going to go ahead and move that down here and then go with CLOV back up here. But what is wrong with my computer this morning? There we go, CLOV. All right, so we got our CLOV up. Like I said, BBIG starting to move a little bit. Michelle, good morning. Skip says, who's official that I know to pay attention to? I would just look for like some of the bigger like bank analysts. You know what I mean? Like a JP Morgan, a Credit Suisse, Bank of America. Like those are usually like and don't get me wrong though. I mean, it's not that that's negative. Like you get a $17 price target from anybody that's putting media attention out there. That's amazing. Shad Rico Suave, what's up? Thank you. Says thanks for the insight. Always enjoy your comments and little gems that keep us grounded. All good, man. Thank you too. I appreciate it. And I'm having fun doing this, and I'm learning stuff every day too. So I But if I'm saying anything that's helping you out in your journey as a trader or swing trader, investor, or whatever, I love it. I'm glad to be helping out. Thank you. Yeah, Joseph Scott says, what a crapshoot game. I didn't even watch last night. I had football practice, and then wow, I just saw the Redskins. The game was still going when I went to bed last night. So the Redskins came back and won, I guess, 30-29. Yeah, I had practice, and then yesterday was the first day of flag football practice, and for some crazy reason, I thought it would be a good idea to coach both my sons' teams. So I coach a 7 and 8-year-old flag football team, and from 5 to 6, and then from 6 to 7, I coach the 9 and 10-year-old team. So it's just one night a week, but man, that was and then the 9 and 10 team, I'm the only coach. So I have no like help out there. It's pretty rough. Yesterday was a long day. Looks like CLOV is starting to pop just a little bit here. Not much, but we saw a nice little candle there. I saw some volume coming in behind it. It looked better when I was zoomed out. Same thing with TMC, starting to move up a little bit. Ooh, Scotty says Amaretto. SRT, what's up, SRT? I haven't seen you on in a while. I did get your email. I was just crazy as hell yesterday. I'm gonna I'll hit you up later on this morning if that's all good, man. I wasn't ignoring you or nothing. Yesterday was nuts. Looks like BNGO's popping right now. I just saw out of the corner of my eye. Is there news there? Looks like they had some news yesterday. BNGO's been pretty damn frustrating for me. I'm still in it, but I kind of just, it's on the back burner. The shares are there, and I mean, I haven't even really been talking about it lately because, I really thought this was the breakout here, and it was ready to start going, and then it's right back down in the same kind of zone. And I long term, I love this company, but I thought we were going to see some nice explosive movements here after we saw this, and now we've just been kind of trading down and sideways for a while now. And to be honest, like if I wasn't in CLOV right now, this would be a stock that I would just slowly be kind of throwing money into here and there, just moving profits into that, and might as well pull it up while I'm looking at it. AVXL kind of the same. It's another one that I'm bullish on long term, but hasn't been doing much lately. All right, let's pull CLOV back up. CLOV still getting a little bit of movement this morning. Brooke says, sick format and entertaining, even though I'm not into football too much. How about those Raiders? Dude, I was down on the Raiders this year. I mean, I know I said it on the show and everything. It's out there. It's recorded. But I was impressed with them. I really was. I was impressed on Monday night. They look pretty good right now. Risky Seeds, good morning. I don't know. Maybe the Ravens. You said they look like shit, but I mean, I don't know. I was expecting the Ravens to have a good season. I still think that they are. And I think the Raiders hung with a pretty good team right now, and they beat them. I don't know. I know L Train, if he's listening, is going to be. I was giving him shit about the Raiders and before the game last week. Thoughts on SoFi stock going up due to the SoFi Stadium exposure? Um, I don't know. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I just don't know. I don't know what effect that has on the stock price. I mean, I could see SoFi, the company, through the exposure, doing better. Um, and then that eventually leading to stock price, because of exposure. But I don't know in terms of just the exposure being out there on an NFL game, if that's going to draw investors into the stock. But I could be wrong. Um, that'd be an interesting case study, though, for sure. Michael says heading to the track today. Neighbors running a '67 Chevelle. Dude, I that's not a '67, but when at some point here, I was just telling my wife the other day, actually, I think last week or the week before, that I'm ready to go get an old school. And because we have a bunch of car shows around here. I got a lot of friends with like classic cars and stuff, and so that's kind of what I've been eyeballing as a Chevelle. Um, Probably closer to like a 71 though. Risky Seed says I got 2023 out of the money calls on CLOV and one December 2021 call out of the money and CLOV squeezes, which shows the most movement. Um, I mean, obviously, I see L trains right there. uh, Probably it depends. When we start looking at the way IV affects things and all that kind of stuff. Typically, the further out you are, the less IV is going to have an effect. The implied volatility. So even if we just take a look at this, I'm looking at TMC right now. Let me look here. Um, let's say they're the same exact strike, right? Really, if you look here, the more closer to expiration, the kind of the higher the IV is. And then there becomes a sweet spot, like its IV starts getting higher up to here, and then it starts lowering when you get way out there. Um, Obviously, that has a lot to do with like who's buying the option contracts and everything. But it's really hard to say. And the other thing is once they become in the money. So if you're looking to sell those calls while they're still out of the money, you'd want to sell them when it gets close to at the money. Now I know I just said a bunch of the monies, but I'll just give you an example since I don't know what exactly you're trading with. But let's say you have this December 17th, 2021, and you're with the $20 strike, right? So right now that's going for 38 cents. And then if we go forward to 2023 $20 strike, that's going for $2.30. Why? Because there's more time premium. Um, but now if the stock moons, let's say it just absolutely squeezes, I would imagine it's going to pass $20 on both of those. So if you were looking to capitalize on like the IV and all that kind of stuff, you're going to get the most bang for your buck as it's approaching 20. But if the stock squeezes and it goes up to like 42, let's say, and blows out the option chain, they're going to be pretty much relatively the same price. And the reason I say that is because once they get deep into the money, it's not really going to matter. And I'll show you what I mean there. So like, let's just say the $3 strike right now on this right now. So we saw a difference of $2 time premium there, right? Because of the amount of days that we have. But if we look in the money, you lose all that time premium. So right now, this 2023 is going for $3 plus $6.15. That's basically $9.15 is what you would be paying to buy and exercise this. So there's not a lot of time premium in that. There's maybe about $1 of time premium. Now, if we skip over here and add the same thing, oh, there's no $3 strike. Damn it. All right, let's just go with the 250 and try to make it work. 250 plus 580, you're basically looking at about $8.30. So Not a huge difference. I mean, it's like 80 cents worth of time premium, and that time premium is going to just whittle away, and actually, no, because there was a 50-cent difference there. So 30 cents difference. So there's not going to be a huge difference once you get deep in the money. I hope that makes sense. It's like if we're talking about CLOV squeezes and now these out of the money calls you have end up, they're well within the money, it's really not going to matter. For me, if you were looking more from a standpoint of which calls do I want to keep and which ones like hold on to long term and which ones do I want to sell for a profit right now, I would always sell the December 21s because they're getting ready to expire quicker. Scotty says my first car was a 66 Chevy Nova. Um, yeah, my neighbor's got a Nova too. He thinks he's cool. Um, I always give him shit about his car because I feel like it never runs. And he's had it for like 20 years and keeps saying he's gonna fix it up, and he never has. Um, I hope he's still listening right now. Let's see. How about the Redskins? Yeah, Scotty's Redskins won. Let me check my phone real quick too, just to make sure. Oh, Scotty, I just saw your text. Sorry. All right, I'm trying. There we go. All right, let's take a look around at some of these stocks. We got about 20 minutes before the bell. So CLOV right now is up to 822. Closed yesterday at 814. So up about 8 cents. We looked at Max Payne earlier for anyone who's just joining. And I no longer can find it. But I believe it was at 850. So one thing about it being so early and talking all these extra tickers and everything, I start forgetting. Yeah, close Max Payne right now is at 850. So we're right around that point. I could see us getting up there, but we're probably gonna see the most resistance once we kind of get to that area. Looking at level 2 right now, I don't see a ton of you know, sell walls or anything like that up there, but still very early. Once the market opens, things change. Some of the stocks we were going to look at for, you know, maybe in terms of trading today, looks like TMC right now has gapped down about $1, maybe a little less, 60 cents. But I still like this one. SDC is actually on its way up with a little bit of volume behind it. BBIG I pulled up because it started hitting a little bit of a run at 545. But that's one that I'm gonna probably circle back to and come back to next week. My neighbor just texted me to go F myself. So he is listening. uh All right. Some of the other ones, just real quick before market open, I'm going to peek back in at some of these other stocks that we talked about this morning and just see if anything changes. Opad was one that was getting absolutely hammered this morning. Closed yesterday at 1997, right around 20. Hit 22 in after hours and as low as 1586. Looks like it's starting to curl back up right now, though. Just gonna check out the options chain on that one. IVs through the roof. 600%. You do not want to be buying calls right now with the IV that high. This is where you want to be selling them. But man, it looks like Opad. They're basically pushing it down to max pain right now. I mean, max pain is what just looking at the option chain is right between 15 and 1750, and so yeah, it says max pain's $15. So I mean, shit, they're gonna end up. I would say if I had to take a guess, this thing ain't getting above 1750 today. It maybe on like a short term intraday trade. But now that they've kind of controlled it down to this point, this is where I was talking about yesterday with some of the other stocks. Like, yeah, if Opad would have like stayed up here at 22, maybe fell down to 19 in pre-market and started curling back up, then it would have been like, cool, this thing's ready to run some more. But the fact that they've kind of nailed this thing down to this max pain level, and we saw this big drop off, I say this is probably going to get pinned. All right, so IRNT, I left on the watch list. Looks like volume's picking up a little bit here. Let me see here. Still not coming up on my volume scanner. But IRNT is the one that we were looking at that I said earlier. Chef Daddy kind of called out, had that high cost to borrow. So this one could be interesting this morning. If I had to pick one right now. It's trading well above max pain right now too. It's at 37 and max pain's way down here at 30. So I could see IRNT running today. This looks pretty bullish. The volume's looking good. The only other two I wrote down was INDP. Doesn't look like anything's happening there still. And LPTX. So as we approach the market open right now, IRNT's one that I'm definitely going to be watching. And also BBIG just because it's moving right now. So I would say BBIG and IRNT. I want to pull those up. And then SDC is on a gap up. I just don't have enough room for everything. All right, let's get back over here on CLOV, see what's going on. I can see Coach B buying an old pacer like the one from Wayne's World. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I need a muscle car, but I don't want to. For me, that's what I want. I want to get I'd like to have two. Tell you the truth, I'd like to have like a Cadillac, or an Impala, but more than likely a Cadillac. And then, like I said, like a muscle car. But just for cruising. I'm not trying to race. BTFD in the house. What's up? Says SDC might run today. Yeah, it's got the sentiment. It's got everything going for it right now. Let's see here. Dangerous chasing runners. Yeah, nah, Skip. I'm not saying to chase runners. I'm just saying these stocks have high potential to like day trade type stuff, man. Like, yesterday, the last couple of days I've been able to like, just kind of get in and get out. Like you never want to buy at the top. For me, you want to buy on stocks going up, going up, going up. It's, easy to FOMO in on the way up. And then now you're catching the knife on the way down. Like for me, on all of these, I'm usually looking to, just be patient. Like yesterday with IRNT, it came down here. There's an opportunity there. It came down here. Once you kind of feel like you got confirmation that it's going to start moving, jump in. You're not always going to be right, but it's a lot better than trying to buy into a stock that's up here at 47. Like, oh yeah, this thing's going to run, and then now you're part of this cool down phase. So yeah, these are just stocks that I'm looking to like basically play the dips on and play off the volatility. Nothing I'm looking to like get into and hold overnight or anything like that. HLBZ, Dave and Chef Daddy said, check it out. Whoa. What the hell is HLBZ? Hellbiz reports partnership between companies Media Unit, Fox Networks to broadcast Series B championship. No terms disclosed. That's a lot of movement for that headline. Damn. The news article says they moved 15%, but that's way more than 15%. That's almost 100%. Yeah, see, like this type of movement, I don't know if I would jump into now. That's how you end up holding the bag. I would now. This is provides for some good volatility, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. This thing could keep going to 25, but um, that's a huge gap. I would imagine you're going to see some ups and downs in this thing today, but definitely, if the volume stays with it, there's some opportunity there to. I want to see what the option chain looks like. Doesn't even have options. Huh. All right, so I got some questions about tradie ticks. DJ Tardis, what's up? Present Minds. Let me see here. Yeah, HLBZ still running. Look at the daily chart. Oh wow. Damn. What's Ortex have to say about this stock? Shit. For it to be moving that much. %100 utilization. Cost to borrow's at 49 right now. Looks like shorts are bailing on it as we speak. What's the float on this? $3 million float. Oh yeah. Damn. So there's only 3 million in the float, and this is a very small float stock. It looks like it had 213,000 shares on loan. That's about, let's just say 10% off the top of my head. Cost to borrow is increasing. But the thing is, with the amount of volume we're seeing right now, every short could have covered just now. I mean, you're looking at the entire float just got traded in the last 20 minutes. With the super tiny float like this, the shares on loan in this stock is 213,000, and we're seeing a 544,000 on just this candle alone. So, yeah, who knows how high it can go? I have no idea. Just let's see what happens. That's awesome though. All right, looks like we got Ghost coming in here. Let me see here. While he's coming in, I'm going to set up my interview screen. Bring this back on. Give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready, and I'll pop you in. Yeah, this thing's running. That's scary though too, because at any minute it can pop out. But if you wanted to throw a little bit at it and just get in, I'm staying off. That's don't get me wrong, that thing could move back up to 25, or it could drop back down to, I mean, even VWAP's at 1482 right now. Damn, that thing's moving though. All right, let's see. Ross Lowe says the Steelers are going down, Ghost. He just popped his head up in the he's in the green room with his head down like this, looking at something. He's like, what the hell? You ready to roll? All right. Oh, he's saying let's go. He wants to talk to Ross Lowe. What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Ross Lowe's your neighbor, right? He's in Cali. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ross Lowe's in Cali.
Yeah.
Hey, Ross Lowe. Listen, the Raiders looked phenomenal, but let's not get it misconstrued. I called the Raiders money line on no financial limits. I knew they would beat the Ravens because the Ravens were in shambles, losing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 13 running backs, 2 of them in practice and everything. You can't tell me that we don't know what Lamar Jackson's going to do every time. And I exactly predicted that it's going to be difficult for him to get some breakout runs. I also seen Sammy Watkins and Hollywood Brown go to work against those Raiders D. So let me explain something to you. I promise you this much. The receiving core is beyond great. And in comparison to the Ravens, Ben's a better passer and we got better receivers. We're definitely beating the Raiders. I'm so sorry. I just have to keep it 100. Market's about to open, man. Let's not talk about sports for a second because
Yep.
I'm seeing SDC right now.
Yeah, I took that. Let me get that back on there. SDC was one that's one that I put on my watch list for today, and I just took it off because we've been seeing all these other tickers. But yeah, SDC's right here. It's gapping up right now, and then most of this other stuff went down. Like TMC's down to 1150 off 1239 close. Opad's down ridiculously. BBIG's also looking to gap up.
So I said Opad, man. I was not holding that beyond the bell. I just did not feel comfortable. I got in at 1450, dropped it at 2002, and was happy. Like I'm not gonna be greedy. It's hard sometimes, you see these tickers like what was it, INRT or RNT or whatever it
IRNT,
was.
yeah. That was a good
Yeah,
one
and
the last 2 days. Was able to jump in and out of, but I didn't
I
really
did
like much
too.
today, but SDC's one that I ended up I said I didn't like much, and I ended up writing down 7 tickers. But usually if it's like that, it's kind of like it's probably not worth trading anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you see these tickers like INRT or IRNT, and you're like, oh my God, see what it did in the aftermarket, and then in the pre-market it gapped up. You see that? This is Opad, and it's so easy to like get caught up in that. So for me, unless I like am super bullish on fundamentals and there's something really going on, I don't really like holding too much aftermarket. And I'll tell you one thing. What's up, Scotty Z, Scotty Too Hottie? I'll tell you one thing, man. There's certain things to look for. It's like if it's not moving yet, like TMC, it wasn't moving yet. I understood holding that after hours. What BBIG, I held it after hours. But when it's actually moving 40, 50%, what are you looking for? I mean, what are you looking for? You really expect stocks to just double up every day? So for me, that was a real big that I couldn't hold OPAD after hours. So I hope that a lot of people did not hold after hours because that would be very unfortunate. It could still bounce back. I'm not saying it's dead, but I like this, man. I'm looking in the morning. I like buying that little morning dip real quick. SDC scares me a little bit. Smile Direct Club. First of all, I like the industry. They're basically taking out orthodontists, right? It's a disruptor. So my wife actually did this during the pandemic where she went online, got Smile Direct Club. They sent her retainers in the mail. First, they send you a mold. You take the mold, you take pictures. They send you how they're going to shift your teeth a little bit. And they sent her like 5 retainers, and every 2 weeks she would switch the retainer. And it actually worked. She already had good teeth to top it off, but I mean, she just wanted to shift a tooth here and there, which was kind of irrelevant to me. But hey, it works. So at the end of the day, I like the business too. So I'm not so worried about the short-term volatility, but I'm hearing like 650's max pain or $6 might even be max pain.
Five
And
fifty. So it's above right now. That's what I was
550.
kind of liking. Was that it's so far above max pain and it's got 50-cent strikes. So
It just scares me though because they could do what they do.
yep. And
So I'm
that's what I
watching.
was just talking about with the OPAD. I don't know if you were listening a second ago, but
I didn't catch
like
too
it
much of it.
it got up above 22 yesterday, like right at the end of after hours, and then now it fell down below 1750. And max pain today is going to be between 15 and 1750. It's right in that strike level. So I would imagine that it's just going to get pinned down at least for the rest of the day today, and that's kind of the same reason that yesterday I had put BBIG, even GREE for that matter, GREE, and some of these other ones on the back burner because it's a Friday, we're at options expiration, and because we're not. And I don't mean back burner. I just mean like back burner for the week. Like something I'll come
Right.
revisit next week. Because they're so close to that max pain number. The two that really weren't from what I was looking at, and I've been talking about so many damn tickers this morning. I may be but I think TMC is well above right now. The max pain and has kind of that gamma squeeze potential this morning, and so does SDC. Now that I'm looking at it, with max pain being at 550 and it's $1 ahead. But again, we've seen CLOV get pushed down $1 too, easily. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. So there's a couple interesting plays right now. I definitely like Sunlight, SUNL. I definitely like Smile Direct. I think Smile Direct's gonna run, but I want to watch it just for a second because it could get pressed. There should be a little bit of a sell off after the bell rings. Is it already ring? Oh, I missed it. 6:32. Okay.
yeah, no, it just rang. It just rang. So let me pull up Sun L real quick. I'll try to do this. You know what? Which one can I turn? I'm gonna turn BBIG off right now. So I'm gonna put CLOV over here on this bottom ticker just so we can watch it. Since we're talking about some other stocks right now, there's CLOV, and then I'm gonna go Sun L because I've been hearing about this one and I don't know anything about it. So I'd love to hear about it.
So Sunlight, man, I want to double check something, but I was hearing that Chamath was somewhat involved with it.
Okay. So it looks
So
like
that's
it's
what
on a
kind of,
little bit of a run. It was as low as $5. What about 4 days ago?
yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like where SDC is. I mean, they're moving so similar right now. Nowadays, man, I swear we're in this crazy retail run where I feel like what's happening is you got a lot of people piggybacking. So, you catch some of these tickers and you start to see the sentiment around it where people are really feeling extra bullish on it. And you could catch one of these piggybackers and they're going pretty nutty, dude, to be honest with you. They're going pretty nutty, man. What's up, Turts McGurts? I see some ghost on up in the chat. My fault. Joan of Arc, thanks for joining us. Had a nice convo with her offline, man. I've always really liked Joan of Arc, man. Not just because she made me Leonidas on the Reddit sub, man, but just in general, man. Always been real cool. Um, Oh, JJ, man. Yeah, I agree with you with this whole GREE, GREE, man. I got hit up by DJ offline, and he was just, yo, am I missing something? And we started really going through this rabbit hole in regards to the merger, and apparently they got in New York they're mining. They're trying to be carbon neutral. Uh, they're opening up another one in South Carolina, and they're under 30,000 a coin for Bitcoin, as far as 3,000 a coin, as far as what it costs to mine one. So I'm extra bullish on that, man. What's up, DJ Tardis? Um, but yeah, man. So I'm amped, man. There's a lot of good moves out there. I agree with JJ, man. Letting it kind of flatline and accumulate is kind of a cool move. I've been doing the same myself.
Just
What
looking
was I
on.
hearing about this HLBZ you guys were talking about? It was running.
Oh, dude. Check. I guess it got halted right now, but I'm gonna throw this up. Sorry, while you were talking, man, I'm just over here looking at all these other tickers and setting all my shit up. And
Oh, you good?
GameStop caught my attention for a second. So yeah, bro, look at this. This thing was trading at $8, 8.80. Closed yesterday right around there and just shot up. I mean, it's up. It says 80 right now, but it did hit as high as 19. Um, Super low float though, 3 million float. They just announced a partnership with, I think it was Fox, to basically got the contract for Series B. Um, or something along those lines. Company's media unit, Fox Networks, to broadcast Series B championship. No terms disclosed, and it's just absolutely ripping. Um,
Hey, just want to give a couple more shout outs, man. Cuckoo Bird, Webb, Michael D. I appreciate you guys always showing love, man, for real. Um, yeah, man, those runners in the pre market like that, man, like you said, you could either get lucky and catch them and they continue to run, or you get a massive sell off.
yeah,
Ever since I saw that video with Kramer, man, and how they used to just throw a pop in 2-3 million, not much in the pre market, they were saying, and you almost cause this FOMO to kick in pre-market, and then everyone just kind of starts to follow, and you can just pull the rug. Ever since I saw that video, I've been always very leery when there's a runner. If you could find out why it's running, that's a whole different story.
yeah. That's why I always
Yeah,
like to check the news and shit. But then you like okay, so then, for instance, like the first thing when we saw this HLBZ, it's like, all right, so they announced a partnership to broadcast the Series B championship. Is that really worth doubling the stock? I mean, I don't know. It could be, but it just seems like an overreaction. It's super low float. It's 3 million. So all of a sudden, when you get that normal buying pressure that comes in when some unexpected news, it's going to move a 3 million float stock a lot more than it's going to move a 300 million float stock, and that's why, and we
doesn't
looked up
take
the
much.
short interest on this thing too, and it had like 10% short interest, but still, I don't care what the short, any short who's in this stock just got absolutely hammered and probably jumped out. I would guarantee you the short interest is probably at zero right now. You know what I mean? Like for it to just jump up like that,
Yeah,
it
somebody
does
bailed.
look like it's maybe going to run. I mean, if it held VWAP here, these low float stocks, man, these things can move. I mean, I've seen some of these go 200-300% in a day. And then sometimes this could be the pop and it falls back down. SDC starting to move right now.
One sec.
682. Man, if SDC Where's my options chain at?
Yeah, man. Got a little bit of a dip in the pre-market. Out the bell. I always like taking advantage of that.
Let me see.
52-week range is 16, not for nothing.
On
SDC.
okay. So right now with SDC, like I said, max pain is 550. It's getting close to approaching 7. I really think that if it gets above 7 sometime soon and breaks through 7, we might see a little bit of a gamma squeeze here. So I'm liking what I'm seeing right now because it's already above max pain, and if it can if it can break through that $7 strike, I think we might be onto something with that one.
I've been playing BBIG too, coach, like crazy, man.
Yeah, I know
So
you
I'm
were saying yesterday you just kept getting in and getting out, like right in like 50 cents a pop or something.
Yeah, man. And what's crazy is I made a decent chunk to start it all off when I first got into it. And I think I think I got in at like 660, 670, and then it ran up to 12. I got it on the way down. I think 10.99 is when I finally got out. But I kept my profits in there, so my median was still low. And then I just been playing with profits, just 100 shares at a time here, 100 shares at a time there, and started to build up from there. But
Hell yeah. Hey,
SDC is about to break 7.
yeah, that's what I was just saying when you wrote, like, if it gets past 7, I think you can hit a gamma squeeze.
Oh yeah, because you're having hedges, right? I mean, they're gonna have to.
Yeah,
They're
it's
gonna have
well,
to
it's
hit
already
strike
because
prices.
it's already deep in the money at the 5. Basically at the $6 and 650 strikes, and we're on options expiration, and so there's a ton right there at the $7 strike too.
Hey,
Ghost says
DJ's talking
D.
about.
Yeah, look, two things. One, HLBZ is bounced off VWAP pretty good. It looks like it might be ready for one. And then DCRC. Oh, DCRC. That can't be right. DCRCU. Oh, okay. Not a ton of volume right now, but shit. It just jumped from 1062 up to 1119. DCRC has the warrants in the mix too. Is this one that you guys were talking about on the Twitter Spaces?
Yeah, so this is the one that's a solid state battery that BMW and Ford have. I guess either contracts or it's backed by them. I mean, something in the mix of them.
Austin said Opad getting beat up pretty already at ADV. Yeah, that I was talking about this a little bit earlier too. It's just, you know, you could kind of even see it happening last night, in after hours, that they were controlling it and start probably profit taking too, but starting to drive this down, and I mean it's
See,
it's
that's
now
what
it's now in that
that's
max pain territory where you could tell they're controlling it, at least today. This thing's gonna get pinned today, in my opinion.
that's what
Um,
scares me about those runners in the day because you're talking about in 2 days straight it doubled up. I mean, there's profits, and it takes one pretty decent person to sell off a chunk of a size of profits for it to just cause that domino effect. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like, man, I wish I wasn't so against shorting and puts, man, because I see some of these runners, man, and I'm like, wait, what? How easy is this to just drop some puts on this and just enjoy the benefits? But I can't stand puts. I don't know why. I need to maybe get that out of my state of mind. But I can't put companies. I just don't like it. What's up, Faith?
I didn't even see Faith in the chat.
Yeah, she shot us
Oh, I
with
missed it.
bees and ghosts
Faith,
and
what's up? Sorry. It's always hard for me to keep up with the chat when I got a guest on because I start getting distracted with other stuff, and it's Ghost's fault. Uh,
it's all me. I'll take the blame. Me and my wife got a joke.
uh,
Everything
but
that goes wrong, it's on me. All day, it's on me. She might
so
mess around and forget to change the load of laundry. I'm like, oh, that's on me. Everything.
let's see. The Jen saying CLOV needs to hold 8. It's just dropped to 807. It's bouncing back up. Man, I real quick. Let me just pull this up. I don't know if you've been following. I know I've been texting you guys about GameStop every day because I'm still in it. But look, if you look at every day now, it goes on a nice little run. Went to 208 a couple of days ago, then comes back down. And then just recently, yesterday, went to 216, came back down. It's climbing again today, man. Not a lot of volume in it, but I'm just waiting for that day that it busts through. Um,
This is why I really genuinely feel like people really just day trading this kind of crap, man. It's just like it really does make sense when you really like pull back and just kind of look. It's like you start day trading in the AM, they start buying in the AM, and because there's such a big following, you just see the stock starts to trend upward, and then lo and behold, it gets slowly starts sloping downward. It's very bizarre, very bizarre.
hey, your Pow Al has your back, man. Uh,
Where's Pal Al? He in here?
I just put it up there. He says, "Stop blaming getting beyond the chat on your guest. Even without a guest, you get way behind." You're right. You're right.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Michelle said your wife has trained you well. I trained myself, man. She just got she. I got lucky. She got lucky, man. We just meshed very, very well, man. It's the weirdest thing ever, man. When you find that one that just completes every aspect and vice versa. So I got blessed, and yeah, you could say she trained me well. We grew up together basically at this point, man. I've known her more than a third of my life.
that's awesome. Hey, I'm gonna go say goodbye to my kids and stuff. If you wanna,
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna switch it to I don't even know how to do that. I'm just gonna mute mine. I'll leave you. I'm gonna leave you up here, but yeah, man. If you want, take the opportunity to plug the show. I did. When you jumped on, what I was busy doing, I put the Jen's Twitter in there for the Twitter Spaces. Link down below in the description of this video, and then also a video link to your YouTube channel.
Okay, cool.
So the links are in there, but I'm gonna go say what's up. It's also my youngest son's 8th birthday, so I want to go see him off to school real quick. So
Aw,
I'll be right back.
happy birthday to your youngest son.
SDC looks like it may be ready to make that breakout too. It's at 690, 687 right now. I like the
Yeah, I'm
chart.
looking at SDC and BBIG look like they're both ready to bounce.
Yep. All right, man. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. When Lambo though, E Ray says when Lambo though. For which one? We talking about CLOV, I would assume. Hey man, let's talk about CLOV for a second, man. That's my beloved, that's my favorite company that I got on my books right now. And all jokes aside, I've never sold a share yet. I have only accumulated so much to where my finance guy is like, you better be a little bit more careful than you're being. I said, nah, I have way too much conviction to not be at least a good chunk of my portfolio. Um, yeah, man, we just got to be patient at this point. I mean, realistically speaking, at least for myself, I've said it since the gates. I don't have any reason to be fearful because of the conviction I have. I've done a lot of due diligence on it. If you sell, if you want to buy more, if you want to hold, that's on you. I promise you, this community is definitely been a little bit all around and all over the place. To say it, for a lack of better words, it's been all over the place. Um, but I will tell you that the people I speak to, the people that I have been speaking to since the gate, we still feel the same way about CLOV. There's nothing that's changed for us. If you want to sell in Europe, that's on you. If you, we will welcome you with open arms if you wanted to come back. But just know that we're not here to try to convince you to hold. We're not here to try and convince you to I don't care what you do with your shares. They're your shares. But I will say, I personally am not going anywhere. I'm not. I'm doing the same thing. I've had a plan since the gate. The only thing I've done is accumulated more than I initially thought I would accumulate. And that's because we've been flatlined for a long period of time. So at the end of the day, I've had a plan until May of 2022. Actually, Jonah Arkin and I were talking about that at least 2-3 months ago, before August 11th earnings, and I think it was right after the May earnings. We've been talking about May being the most exciting part. You have so many lives under management that become eligible for claims come January of 2022. You got open enrollment in October. You got their star rating is one of the most exciting things that I can think of right now. They got this star rating that is a 3. We're getting peanuts from the feds for these lives under management because of our star rating. And Andrew Toy has been, and Vivek have been talking about it on their website, how they feel that the star rating should actually be calculated based upon what type of clientele you have. I mean, the average is 25% minorities. United Health, Humana, industry-wide, 25%. CLOV's at 60%. So they're helping pockets of in the geographical footprint that literally is for people that need the help. And so they're going to have a poor population in some cases that they're going to have a lower star rating because people are unhappy there. So I'm just telling you right now, I believe the star rating is going to increase very soon. I know they do it once a year. And if our star rating gets increased and that takes into effect in January, and open enrollment brings us a lot more lives under management, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't see it going any other way. So I'm still in the same boat, man. I know there's a lot of speculation and a lot of things that are being said right now. I'm just telling you where I'm at. I'm here in CLOV. I'm not going anywhere. And I've always been big on diversifying. So you can make these little plays like SDC, BBIG, you know. I didn't even plug the show, by the way. My fault, coach. I got carried away on CLOV, man. I just wanted to let everyone know where I stand on CLOV personally, because I'm hearing a lot of speculation around the whole fam. But yeah, no financial limits every single Monday night. It's an hour and 15 minutes prior to Monday Night Football. It's that simple. I don't care if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast. It's an hour and 15 minutes before tip-off. So 4 o'clock Pacific Standard, 7 o'clock Eastern. You can show up. We're going to talk about stocks, digital currency. That's the whole first half. Sometimes even real estate might pop up. After halftime, we'll kind of take some questions about some tickers, about even some fantasy plays in football, whatever you want. Third quarter, fourth quarter comes around. We talk about our previous week's picks, which, by the way, me and Coach did tie 5-3. Just saying, if you took every game with us, you'd be sitting kind of pretty. Not saying to do so, but just saying. 5-3, man, both of us. So we got a tiebreaker to come out. And yeah, man, we're gonna have some special guests coming up pretty soon, man. Once this first quarter is finished in the NFL, we'll start having some guests pull up. I didn't really address the chat too much. I agree with Ghost. Feel like shorting is hating. Yeah, Alfredo, I feel you, man. I can't touch it like that either.
I ride puts all the time, man. I do.
I've done puts.
Yeah,
I
like,
just feel like him. I feel like it's hating, right? So it's like I try to be careful. You know what I
yeah,
mean? The
I don't
only
know.
puts I've ever done is Dave and Buster's and Carnival. I did calls. All of a sudden, the vaccine news came out, and then it's the very next day. They were both up 40%. The very next day, I did puts on them and rode them out for a day or two, and that was it. That was like the only time I've ever really done puts, to be honest with you, and it was just because I knew the market overreacted.
Hey, so Matt C says IRNT at 544% cost to borrow. You think a second pop is coming today? With it being options expiration, it makes it a little bit harder, with all these stocks. But with that cost to borrow so high, I mean, potentially it's already well above max pain, which helps it out, right? That thing I was talking about, like they've already lost control. Max pain's at 30. So I could see this one potentially running. But it's probably going to get. I mean, there's so much open interest here, and this float, from what I remember, was, let me see here, 57 million. It's a low float stock. I don't know about today, but I mean, with the cost to borrow like that, I could see the stock continuing to move. With all of these stocks, though, I'm not really looking to, get in and hold. It's more of a kind of like, even right now, this looks a little too choppy to get a read on, right? But once you kind of like zoom out and see like even how it started yesterday, it was kind of, the same thing, like really choppy right at first. But then you kind of get an idea for how it's going, and it's like, okay, you see a nice little bounce there. Maybe this is where I want to enter, and you can kind of find your entry points and your exit points, play the dips, but I could see this thing getting some movement today for sure. It might present a good opportunity to day trade, and jump in
It's
and jump.
frustrating. It's frustrating with IRNT or INRT because I did pull out, and at the end of the day, I pulled out with profits, and I watched it pre-market, and I watched it just continue to watch it as it doubled up, and sometimes it's frustrating, right? You're like, damn, like if I'd have just held a little longer, even. But the truth be told, I don't have the fear of missing out any longer. Like I really genuinely don't. So I'm like, look, man, that one got away from me. I didn't make too much. There's plenty of moves, man, and you picked the right time. You picked the right time. Um, DGen said NFL is a great show, bro. No financial limits. I gotta head out, push some weights around. CLOV holding its own today. GREE's getting crushed by shorts, so I'm probably gonna swoop up some GREE myself. I said 49 was my new add to the accumulate range. So I'll probably accumulate. Yeah, clove's holding its own. I mean, we're pretty much right around that 8. I mean, that's our resistance at this point, in my opinion. So we'll see. Ross Lowe, as far as the handle goes, we're going off of this same this same YouTube for now. So I do have my own YouTube channel. I think I got like 300 subs, maybe. I'm pretty close to at this point. I only have one, maybe 2 videos on there. But it is the same as my Twitter handle. I am Ghost AF. I am Ghost _ AF. And you could also go to imghostaf.com, and it'll shoot you right to my YouTube page if you want to subscribe. But yeah, we're going off of Coach B Stocks' actual YouTube for now, and we'll start bouncing back and forth. Once I have enough people that have subs and alerts, because we don't want to obviously not get the word out there when we're having our show. But it is every Monday, so every Monday 4 o'clock Pacific Standard.
Yeah, right now we're just trying to, keep the momentum. But that's why I've been saying to everybody too, like go subscribe to Ghost, and there's a link down below right now to his YouTube channel. And like I said, I also put one in for Degenerate's Twitter, because if you want to check out the Twitter spaces, you got to follow him on Twitter. And man, I'm just upset that I can't always be on the Twitter spaces, like I yesterday I was going crazy. I was listening, and then I'm in class, and then it's like something happened, I had to turn it off, and then it was like, okay, this class is over. Okay, let me jump back on, and then I was on for 15 minutes, and then my phone rang. So I only spent like 6 minutes listening to you guys yesterday, but some great stuff on there. And the days that I have been able to actually sit on there for a long period of time, like I said, people calling out runners and giving dropping some good knowledge about specific stocks. Real quick, Chef Daddy, I flashed it up on the
I think,
screen, and it's Max Payne is 9 right now for Workhorse. Also SDC just broke above 7.
yeah, I think the best thing about the Twitter Spaces are, first off, DGen runs it so proper. Like he's got 10 speaker slots, and he's constantly like, if people are raising their hand, we're bringing them up. And what's really cool about it, in my opinion, we bring up one subject, and there's like 5 different minds minimum that kind of give their input, and it's so helpful to hear, because sometimes when you're doing your own DD, you become very, you justify everything, you become biased, you become emotionally attached. So when you actually hear other people speak about the same ticker, you end up kind of hearing sometimes devil's advocate. Sometimes you get to hear, if you're bearish on it, a bull case. And it really does help kind of communicating and talking about specifics, because there's things that you're going to miss, unless you're able to kind of get and absorb and soak up some knowledge from others that are, maybe super bullish on something that you kind of overlooked. SDC launched, yeah, 714, yeah,
Hey, so
yeah. Let's
check.
go, Joan.
L Train just hit me up, and this was one that was on his scanner this morning, and I actually went over it this morning off my volume scanner, and I didn't really see much. I was just like, I don't really see the news behind it and everything. This thing just launched from 750 up to 12, like in the last
What is it?
15 minutes. So when we were looking at it, it looked like it was what is it, IPHA, pharmaceutical company. Where we got something, their data from Coke's trial presented at the ESMO Congress. So, just some news in a low float pharmaceutical company, and the volume was starting to pick up in pre-market, and I mean, this is freaking insane right here. This type of movement. So
What's
can't
up,
can't
Ego?
can't get them all, man. Uh,
Insane. What's up, Dr. Tampa? Max Payne 850 for CLOV this week.
yeah. The last time I looked this morning, I believe that's where we were at. It's at 850 right now. So yeah, SDC. I know you were talking about, I don't know if it was you or Degenerate on that group chat this morning. Somebody was saying they think
Yeah,
SDC is going to be the runner today.
I've been tweeting. I think for like 3 days now. I've been in and out of it, and I've been in it for a few days. Um, I just see where it's at. I mean, it's been getting beat up, and so me, I'm with the more of the sentiment tip. So to me, it was just looking at how the pricing went from 16 basically down to like 5-6 range. You got 66% off type of a move, and to me, the whole concept of it actually makes sense. So when I'm playing squeeze plays, like I really like there to be a backup plan. You know what I mean? I like there to be either like a fundamental or some type of disruptor or something I believe in. That's the
Yeah,
type of plays I like to play personally. Um,
I can tell
Learned a
you
lot
right
from some
now. I
of
think
these.
it's hitting a gamma squeeze. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
really is gonna start because now it's got past that breaking point. We're at Friday. We look at this option chain here, and it's like still a lot to hedge here, and it's just going to keep moving it higher. It's at 724 right now. As soon as it gets to 750, it's just going to keep on climbing up, and I don't really see this thing running out until after about $10 if it continues to keep going up, just because of
these
all
attract
this.
me. These attract me because the cost per share is so low that you know people that play the options and people that even can want to play shares in this case, because I'm more of a share guy personally, and just knowing that you can get some, like, buying 100 of these things is like 600-700 bucks at the time. So it's like it's just something to be mindful of with these lower cost per shares. You can really get a nice pop, man. You buy 1,000 of these things, drop like $7,000, and it jumps up to 10. You just made $3,000. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
So I like those kind of plays a lot, to be honest with you.
What's this?
BBIG is getting a little bit lower. It's almost at my buy point. That 8 to 850, coach. It's been happening so damn often. It's crazy. What'd you think about the game last night, man? I'm starting to feel real funny about these Thursday night games, man.
I didn't watch at all.
Man,
I was at football
man.
practice from what was it, 5 to 7? Got home at 7:30, ate real quick, took a shower, got the kids in bed, and then um, it was like I turned it on. The Giants were winning at the time, but it was
Yeah, let
already
me
in the
tell you.
fourth quarter, and I was like, man, I haven't watched this game, and I'm not really. I don't know. I went to bed, man. I didn't even
Let
watch
me,
the
let me
end.
tell you. They have this field goal kick with like 8 seconds left to win the game. Washington Redskins do, and the defense. He misses the kick first of all. But on defense, you get that little quick jump. The guy that jumps, he never crosses the neutral zone, and the center hikes the ball. And they won't even really replay it like that, coach. But I swear to you, man, he never crossed that line. And they called it an offside just based upon the movement. 5-yard penalty, re-kick, game-winning field goal happened. And I was just like, sometimes,
Wow.
man, it's funny to me, man. It really is funny to me, man.
Did you remember to get your picks in for the or your pick in for the Survivor?
Yeah, I'm in trouble, man. I lost week 1. I had the Vikings. I still can't believe they lost to the Bengals, bro.
I went with shit. I made the pick last night. I think I went with the Browns. Yeah, Ago did too. So I went. I
The
think I
Go
was on the
Brown.
Discord last night. I seen it, but that's who I ended up going with was Let me
I'm going
see.
to check right now.
Um, Yeah, I took the Browns this week. It's so hard because there's also like that side of it where it's like there's a bunch of games you could look at and say, "Hey, this is the team that's going to win," but then at the same time, maybe I want to save that team for, next week or the week after. You know what I mean? You don't want to like
Yeah, I
just jump out
actually,
and take all the favorites and then you're going to be stuck picking a
yeah.
mediocre team when it really counts.
So I pick the whole 17 weeks, and then am prepared to make adjustments. That way you don't double pick because you can't, and I just helps me kind of get a formula to it. But I actually have the Saints over the Panthers. Saints looked really good, man. They looked really good. So I'm picking Saints over Panthers this week. And if that I have a rule, and it's divisional games. Like, be careful, division road teams. Just be careful. And I did not last night. I wasn't careful with my rule. I picked the Giants in my other I'm in a confidence pool, so I lost that last night. I'm in third place, man. I got third place or fourth place last week out of like 58 people, man. So I was feeling so confident, and then everyone picked the Redskins, the top like 10 at least. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, Giants are definitely winning this game. And yeah, man.
How does a confidence pool work? I don't know if I've ever done one.
It is by far my favorite type of pool. So you basically don't play spreads. You're just picking winners over losers. But how confident you are is where you're pushing that team. So, for example, if you really think the Niners are going to beat the Cowboys, and the Niners, you could put the Niners at 16, meaning if the Niners win, you get 16 points. And so, since there's 16 games, it's 16 through 1. And you could play with how many points you want to get if they win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're really not that confident, it's a 50-50 game, you might put that as a 1. If you're really confident, you think the Bucks are going to beat last week the Cowboys, I had them at 16.
And then
So
you got to rank them all, and then if you hit that one, you get 16 points or whatever, But you said you got removed, so what is it? The lowest scoring guy gets removed every week, or what?
no, I didn't get removed. I lost. I got third place last week. It's a season-long journey. So the top scorer for the week gets $150, which is your buy-in back. And then at week 17, whoever finishes off that season, the top 5 get paid.
Got you.
And so you don't ever get eliminated, and you could always win a week to get your buy-in back. So you're always competitive the whole way out. And last year I got fourth place, and there was like 60 some odd people in it. This year I got fourth place week 1, and then like I said, I picked the Giants, so I definitely pushed my down 2 or 3 spots. I'm gonna do the same thing you did, man. I'm gonna put you on a hold for a second. I'm gonna go say bye to my kids real quick.
Yep, yep. Go ahead, go ahead. All right. So I was just flipping things around while he was talking there and trying to get things set up. So TMC, um, I'd love to see this one continue to rip, but it looks like SDC is probably the runner today. It's got some momentum behind it. It's climbing, um, and it's got a ton of options volume that will continue to push this thing higher. Um, IV right now on it is 330%. That's pretty damn expensive, but I could see this thing continuing to run as the day pushes on. If it doesn't stop, it's just going to continue to go up, and every time it passes a new strike price, it's going to put more options in the money. So that's the one that I'm looking at right now for today's runner, and hopefully make a little bit of money again just to roll over into some other ones. But I really don't see this stopping right now, just based off the options chain and everything else. Louis, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. I think that's my second one today too. Right on. I appreciate you guys. And then Michael, I did see your question. Said, do you have work today? So I have a bunch of errands to run and some other stuff, some schoolwork that's due for my doctorate. And so I took a sick day today, and my football game this afternoon or tonight is all the way in San Jose or Santa Clara, during traffic hours and stuff. So regardless, I was going to end up taking the second half of the day off just to leave and get out there. Because I think even the football players, everyone's getting out of class a little early today. So I ended up just taking the day off. But Louis, again, thank you for the super chat. And yeah, thank you everybody for the support. It really means a lot. That's why I do this. I enjoy it too. I enjoy kind of coming in and hanging out and just the community that's kind of grown out of this whole experience. And I look forward to it every morning, and I'm really looking forward to our boy, our hype man, the guy that gets us fired up every Friday, coming on here in a little bit here. And actually, whenever you're ready, just let me know. You know how to dial in. I'm ready for you. So Scotty, if you're listening, I'll just set it up and we can have all three of us on here. Let's see here. So Austin Scott says DNA on a tear. Let's see what's going on with that. Yeah, DNA. Genentech. They got some news coming in too. Soaring Eagle Acquisition Corp. Bioworks highlight will begin trading on Friday, September 17th. Oh, so did they just start trading today? Is that what's going on? Ego's ready for you. Another super chat. Right on. Ross must be hitting some money on SDC right now. Right on. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support always. JJ says, "How's the high school team doing?" Pretty good. We're 1-1. Today's supposed to be our fourth game of the season, but we got smoked out of the first game. We got a really difficult preseason schedule. We were supposed to play what was dubbed as the top game in the Bay Area or in Northern California early on. That was us. We were playing Sarah. They're out of San Mateo, and they're one of the top private schools up in that area. And so we were supposed to play them early on, and we got smoked out of that one. Then we went and played Folsom, who's one of the other top teams in Sacramento area, the top team. And it was their third game, our first. We hung with them most of the game. We ended up losing. So we started off the season 0-1. Just beat a really good team in Valley Christian. And then tonight we play Valley Christian's like San Jose area. And tonight we're going to play Wilcox out there in Santa Clara. So we've been kind of traveling around in our preseason trying to play all the top teams in the area, keep things competitive. So let me see here. I got somebody coming on right here right now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna set you up real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. What was I trying to do here? Hold on. That's what I was trying to do. So I'm going to add in another one of these. There we go. Scotty, okay, let me know whenever you're ready. There we go. All right. Hey, Ghost, we got a special guest that's going to come on right now. Not really special. He comes on this is the Friday gig now, but here he is. Scotty, you're live. What's up?
Am I on live with Scotty?
What up, what up, what up, what up? How's the volume? Am I too loud? Do I need to take it down a notch? Ghosty, what's up, baby?
Hey, this is the coolest day of my life, man. I completely forgot it was Friday for a second, and I'm like,
No,
yo,
you didn't.
Scotty's on right now?
Hey, and look what happens right when Scotty signs on with CLOV. CLOV started popping, got above VWAP.
That's because I just bought some more. I'm serious. I'm not even playing.
You said
I ain't buy that much, though.
You moving the market on us, Scotty.
Please. What's up, fellas? How are you guys?
Good, good.
Great,
I'm feeling
man.
real good seeing you on here with us, bro. That's so cool, bro.
That's great. I hope everybody's doing great. I got the chat over here to my left to kind of see what's going on, and I got you guys right here in my face, and that's all good. I got a little something for a little
What
bit,
you got?
here. I got a little Di Serono today. I'm gonna take it. It's not that nasty. I gotta admit,
it is.
it's tasty, but
My wife,
it'll be nasty.
my wife adds Coca-Cola to that, man.
That's not a bad move. I don't drink soda. I really haven't drank soda in a lot of years. I'm a real big fan of seltzer, but and water and seltzer. You know what I mean? Because I'm all paranoid about like getting fat, even though I'm already kind of overweight in my life, and I try to like I can't run and jog and shit like that. I'm a little bit crippled. And so I try to walk and do what I can, you know what I mean? But one thing is I definitely know for sure is no good for you is soda.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
I don't really drink soda either. Not even really. I don't drink soda at all. I mean, there'll be like maybe once or twice a year in probably the last 5 or 10 years where like, I'm somewhere and thirsty, or sometimes you just get a craving, bro. Like it'll be like
I hear you.
I haven't drank soda in 8 months and I'm somewhere and I'm so used to like someone being like, "Hey, you want a Pepsi?" and it's like, "Nah, I don't drink it." And then that one day it's like, "You know what? Yeah, look, give me that Pepsi," but bro, I never drink soda, but I'm the same way, bro. Seltzer, I'm all about the seltzer because I like that carbonation.
Yeah, I had a Dr. Pepper on the weekend, man, and it was like the first time I had a soda in like a month. And
It's like a toilet pepper, Dr. Pepper.
I was hiccuping. I was like, oh, shit, forgot how bomb this is. Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper and a banana is great, bro. That's a good mix. Dr. Pepper and a banana. A little toilet pepper and a banana.
And a banana?
Yeah, try that combo. I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna love it.
So what do you just
That's
like take a swig and eat and take a bite of the banana?
Absolutely, man. Give it a rip. I'm telling you, you ain't lived until you've done it. I won't do it no more, but I used to do it all the time.
Hey, that's how I am with cereal and jelly. Woo.
Really?
Put a spoonful of grape jelly and like some cornflakes.
That actually doesn't sound bad.
I'm gonna have to get that rip too.
I've never tried that, but that doesn't sound bad at all.
Sweeten it up a little bit.
I swear to you,
Sweeten it up a bit.
You won't eat cereal again without it.
Okay.
You said I'm breaking up?
No. I just said, okay, I'm about to try it. I might have that for breakfast.
Yo, I'm about to try this.
All right, you gonna get down, Scotty? Yeah, let's do it. I got my water ready.
I got my water ready.
All right. Well, interesting aroma here. Oh, you guys got some water. I know you guys are on the West Coast. Very early for you guys. Everybody in the chat, get geared up. This one's going down. We're going to have a green day today. We're going to have a green week next week. I feel good about next week. I know this week's kind of been a bust, but I feel good about next week. What that means absolutely nothing. So we're going to give it a rip. Here we go. Nasty. Nasty. Oh, this is pretty nasty.
Oh man,
I haven't had this in a while. It's nasty still.
I love how you I love how you just, it's just like a grab bag too. You just just whatever you pull out that week.
That's you never know which one it's gonna be, man. It's different every single time, bro.
Oh, it is. I was telling Coach, I don't know if it was last week, week before, perhaps, whatever. But I'll just go to the liquor store and I'll just point to the guy like, give me one of them. Give me all the cheapest crap you got, the cheapest, nastiest shot bottles you got. Give me all of them. I walk out of there with $50 spent in shot bottles. It's ridiculous.
Didn't you say?
Yeah,
I remember.
White, honey is bomb in cereal, but jelly is way better. Honey and Greek yogurt is fire.
Greek yogurt, yeah, I've heard Greek yogurt this year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. We're turning this into a food show now.
Chef Daddy's like, I got you guys.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of the food Chef Daddy makes. Man, it's that stuff looks fire. And I don't even eat I know I've said it before, but I've been vegan for about 2 years now, so I don't even eat meat or anything. But I still cook. Even like this weekend's my son's birthday, I'm gonna be smoking some chicken and doing a bunch of other stuff for everybody else. But yeah, man.
You having a big party for your son this weekend? You said?
Yeah, it's his birthday. We always, for him, because of, the time of the year and the way the weather is out here in California, so. Since his first birthday, we did this big barbecue at a park, and then we did that for like 3 or 4 years straight. And then when COVID came around, we just like switched it to our house. We got a nice big backyard, and you know what I mean, and just kind of kept it running. And so we always have a big barbecue every year, just because of
That's great,
man. It's nice
That's
outside.
Great.
It's a lot easier at a park though. You know what I mean? Because then you don't got to clean up and stuff. You just
I was going to say, you don't got to clean shit up. It's always easier that way, bro.
Yeah.
It's always.
Hey,
a lot of shots in there.
We got BBIG hitting that almost buy point, man.
Where are you at with BBIG? Let me pull it up here. We'll take a look at it.
It's dropping.
Exactly I know you guys have been talking about that for the past week or so, man. I've been scared.
So Ghost,
it came in as a.
You were saying, was it yesterday you were talking about? You were popping in and out of there, or the day before?
Yeah, no, I've been doing it like literally over a week and a half now. All week I did it all week. I swear to you, I did it all week. You can look at the chart.
Here's like a couple days ago.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like 2.5 weeks ago is when it came on my radar. One of my boys is like an NFT head, and he was he's like, I know I always tell you about NFTs, and I know you never pull the trigger, but I got a stock for you that's an NFT backdoor play, and they're doing this merger with that. And I'm like, what's the ticker? And it was just BBIG, and I was like, all right, let me look into it. And then I looked, and I kind of liked what I saw about everything. Like, it just made sense. And so
you like that HUT too? How's that looking?
HUT actually is solid, man. HUT is solid. Yesterday it broke $9, even though they got an offering at $8.50. So HUT's a solid play, man. They're doing mining also, and they're doing off of wind and gas. How they use their power their whole process to mine for Bitcoin. But that's actually a solid play too. The fact that they're doing an offering at $8.50 and the stock is still moving in the right direction. I mean, to me, that just tells me when they start expanding these their footprint, they're going to make some money. And again, this is all in contingency of Bitcoin itself, right? I mean, I believe in Bitcoin personally. I genuinely believe in it. I think it definitely, the sky is the limit with some of these coins like Bitcoin itself and Ethereum. I've always been a big Ethereum guy, kind of because I missed the boat. I felt like with Bitcoin, I still have Bitcoin, but I felt like I missed the boat. LCID, man, I heard they got I texted us in a group chat, man. They got a $30 price target by Bank of America today. And the article is like the Ferrari and Tesla mix. And I was just like, how is it a $30? Even DGen was saying it too. Like that would push that market cap above Ford. They haven't even sold a car yet, but I said that was a play today, man, because of that upgrade.
Well, it's like that Shiba Inu coin that showed up yesterday on Coinbase and skyrocketed like 25%. Now skyrocketed. The thing's probably not even a penny yet. But I mean, like, it's weird how it's really weird how these coins and shit work and this NFT. It's all new, definitely new to me, and I really don't know. Like, I don't know what makes a cartoonish meme looking thing $1 million, but it's pretty
We were
pretty
laughing.
weird.
DGen had me crying yesterday. He's like, "Oh, look at this NFT. I just photo grabbed, screenshot it, and now it's mine. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I just saved myself 260,000 Ethereum coins."
right. What the,
That's so
I don't
funny.
like. I'm not. It seems a little funky to me, but hey, whatever floats people's boat and whatever it is, it is.
Yeah, I'm not big on the NFT thing either. I mean, I could see where I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you got the money and you just want to waste it on something, I mean, it's kind of that thing where like you own the only one, right? That's the whole concept behind
Yeah,
it. Like it's
it's
limited
art.
edition, it's limit whatever it may be. Like even I mean, you could buy the NFT rights to an audio file and you own that file forever, and so it's like that whole limited edition type of thing, but it's digital. So even though you own the rights, it's so easy to copy. You know what I'm saying? Where like if you own the original painting of something and it's the only painting that ever existed, to me there's way more value in that. But that's essentially what they're trying to do with NFTs. But
It's
shit.
Right,
weird,
but I
right?
mean, it's only valuable to somebody that wants to buy it. So in other words, if I bought an NFT of a goat picture or something, I'm making it up for like $2 million. It might be worth $2 million to me, but I gotta find some other schmo that thinks it's worth $2 million too if I'm gonna make a profit off it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I know people are making money flipping those things. Um,
Telling you, my boy who put me on BBIG was like, "I've never had such an ROI in my life." And his return on his investments were like literally like 400% in like days, dude. And I'm just like, what is going on? How
I'll
is
tell you,
this
man,
a
I wish
thing?
my comic books would work like that, bro. I try to sell my comic books now. They're like, "Oh, I'll give you $1 for this first appearance of Wolverine." I'm like, what happened? Like in 1998, you guys would have gave me like $500. You know what I mean?
Turn it into an NFT. You'll be all right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right?
Real shit.
hey, real
NFT version of
real
first
quick, I got a
Wolverine.
couple. Going back to that other conversation. So Ross Lowe said heard this week peanuts and Coca Cola. I know you were talking about banana and Dr Pepper. He said
Oh
peanuts and
yes,
Coca
yeah,
Cola.
yeah.
I never heard about that
Peanuts
one.
and Coca Cola.
And then
I
Chef
think that's a
Daddy.
joke. I think Roslow's trying to get you because if you say that, man, say what it was.
Peanuts and Coca Cola. Peanuts and
Yeah, I
Coca
think he's
Cola.
getting you, coach. I think your neighbor's getting you.
I don't know. Maybe. And then Chef Daddy said maple syrup and blueberry with some granola. Okay, I
Granola,
think he's
yeah.
Blueberry
talking about.
compote. Yeah.
I just
Yep.
wanted to, since I saw
That
some
sounds
comments
bomb.
pop through. Hey, so Opad right now. While you guys were talking, ran up, did hit 1785. I think 1750 again. I think they're gonna try to pin this thing today below 1750, but kind of between 1750 and $15. And that is where it's kind of falling back at. Nice little trade there if anybody got in on that, but still, I would be until it breaks this like 1790. I would say until it breaks above 18. I don't know that I would be entering up here because that's where they're going to try to stop it, on the day. Now again, if it comes down, there's always day trade possibilities on anything. Like if it was to come down and show a nice technical bounce off of 1650, sure you could ride it back up, but just be leery of it. I think they're going to try to pin it below 1750 today.
Ghost, I know you mentioned you did all right on that OPAD. I think Pablo the Panda did all right as well, right?
Yeah, I found that out the next day too. Yeah, he was in on the Spaces. He came on and he was like, "Yeah, man, like he kind of broke down what he was seeing in it."
Oh, was that yesterday
Yeah, he
on the
came on our space
spaces?
yesterday.
So what is the deal with Opad? I don't know much about it.
Man, I actually, they had some type of investment, like $300 million someone was throwing towards them. And so that's why one of my boys even brought it up to me. But it's basically like, you know how Zillow, you know how Open Door is?
Yeah.
It's basically like the one-stop shop to kind of like sell your house or refi or buy your house. And it's all digital. So they're kind of like trying to be a disruptor, kind of like a Zillow is, starting to do things more digitally. So that's kind of like the gist of what they do. But I just heard that they got like a $300 million investment or something like that, which was going to help them significantly generate some capital or some revenue. So that's why it came on my radar in the first place. And I had saw it was a previous day runner, and so I was like, all right. I jumped in at like 14 after the first pullback of yesterday, 14.50. That was like the first pullback of the day, which is when I usually like to jump in, and then I just kind of rode it until I started seeing some type of you know some type of breakdown. But yeah, Austin, yeah, he must have been in the spaces yesterday. He was calling it some type of redemption squeeze. I don't know. I don't know. I think Pablo Loki might have coined that phrase because I never heard redemption squeeze before. But basically, on the flip side of everything, not just the money they were getting in investment wise, apparently, um, the warrants, something to do with the warrants, and them not having enough shares in redemption, and it just basically kind of skewed a lot of things. I wish you could talk about it more because I'm only going off of what it was. But yeah, there you go, Matt. See, it was a line of credit, $300 million line of credit. That's correct. Yeah, for Opad.
Ross said, nah, he really saw a coworker on Monday drinking Coke with peanuts in it.
That's so weird.
Maybe salty because the peanuts are salty or something.
I get it. I just think it's like, what are you
this.
drinking? You gotta like chew them while you're drinking. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like
I know that's
weird,
like a bar food. I don't know. I've never heard of that either.
It, man. Every time y'all say it, I can't fucking. I guess I'm immature, man. I can't do it, bro. I
you can't do the penis and Coca-Cola.
Oh man. Has a micro float as well, only 3.27 million. Yeah, that's why, and that's what we were talking about earlier too. I mean, if Opad can break above, like out of this 1750 range, and start heading upwards, it has the potential to really explode. I just think with seeing how much they were able to control this thing and drive it down from 22 back down to max pain shows me who's in control, at least today. That doesn't mean that if all of a sudden some volume starts pouring in, we could see this thing explode. I would be hard pressed trying to enter in somewhere around max pain. I want to see it break above, 18 to jump in, or look for regular your basic day trading technicals. Some sort of confirmation of a breakout. Like if someone was to get in here earlier and ride this thing up, $2 move is great.
So, Coach, I got one for you and for the Ghost.
Yes, right? Sir.
So this quadruple witching day, I'm reading. I know what it is, and maybe you guys want to talk about it. Tell the watchers and listeners what it's about. I know it's today, and I also know that it's kind of, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, something to keep an eye on, but nothing really to worry about. We shouldn't really experience any kind of ridiculous volatility, at least from what I'm understanding.
So basically, you figure every stock that has options, usually has monthly expirations. Some of them only have quarterly expirations. So quarterly expiration day is usually a bigger day, which is basically what we're seeing, right? On top of that, you have futures expire every quarter, so that's another thing that goes into quadruple witching. And then I think on top of that, what else is it? It's like I know it's the third Friday of March, June, September, December. So it's every 3 months, third Friday. And there's basically like four asset classes expiring on this day. And so usually there's a lot of volatility, but I was saying earlier, like in my experience, just like in the last 2 years, I feel like more so like maybe the last 6 or 7 quarters, I feel like there's more volatility moving into the day than there is in the actual day. Like, And I even remember going back, after January, like a lot of people in the AMC and GameStop communities getting fired up about March quad witching day. Like, oh, today's going to be amazing because it's quad witching day. And it was like a big nothing. But, typically kind of like all the volatility that we saw 2 weeks ago, in a lot of these stocks, I think was kind of like a precursor to this quad witching. So basically what happens is a lot of funds are rebalancing. A lot of this stuff is all happening, and it happens at the end of every quarter, right? And you have all these expirations and everything happening. And so, I think maybe years ago you would see most of the volatility happening like on today, and that was the thing, like people would be selling off positions, buying new positions, everything else. But now I feel like it's more of a lead up to today, and
Got
so but that doesn't mean that you won't see volatility in some stocks today, but it's not necessarily something that I think we're going to see like absolutely in every single stock across the board.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the lead up to it nowadays. I remember the first time I was like really excited about it. Nothing happened, and I was just like, wah wah wah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that, It's just a lot of things
Very
happen on
disturbed.
the.
Very disturbed from Georgia. Says he's from the South and coke and penis is a thing.
Now I know you didn't say peanuts right now.
I meant peanuts, peanuts.
Oh
Penis.
man.
Oh, Scotty, I need to change your name, man. I used to call you Scotty Too Hottie. I'm calling you Shoddy Too Scotty, man.
Oh my
That's
god.
your name now, man. Shoddy Too Scotty, bro. That's it, man. Every time you take the shots, bro, and you say, "Ooh, that's nasty" with your accent, bro, I start laughing, bro.
Well, let's do
Every
one
time I
more. I'm
watch
gonna do one more. I think I gotta get the morning going. It's 10:30. It's 10:30 here on the East Coast. I gotta get it ripping.
That's your coffee on Fridays.
I'm all out of water. I can't do this one with you.
It's okay.
I got too much work to do
Leave this
today.
one. Leave this to me. Leave this disgusting strawberry vodka thing to me, guys. Hey, I'll do it when I see some shots up in the chat. How about that? We'll get some shots up in the chat. Give me a little inspiration to choke this down.
Who's got? I think only the members can throw in the shots. But who's got them?
Good. Let the members throw them down.
Yeah, throw in the shot. The Scotty shots.
Give people incentive to be a member.
Hey, do we know Noar, Knoar? Do we know what his Twitter handle is or anything? Because he's saying he was I think he was saying he was talking to me. I want to make sure I know who he is. Noar.
KNOAR. No, I don't know.
Said was talking to Ghost about the $30 price point. Yeah, I don't know. Noir, if you're still here, throw in your Twitter handle, or even if you want to, or DM Ghost.
It could be on Reddit or Discord too. I mean, that's the only 3 platforms I'm using. So if you were speaking to me, I would assume it was through one of those. You're getting a lot of Shoddy Two Scotties in there, dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see Ross Lowe, Ego, Faith. All right, I'm going to give it a rip. Guys, we're going to give it a rip. Happy Friday. Here we go. Nasty. Nasty. This is nasty.
This shit'll never get old to me, man. I swear to you.
This is nasty, bro. This is nasty. It's like cough syrup. I've had this before, and it's always like, when I was young, I kind of liked cough syrup. I would try to get like the cherry flavor, I wasn't a big fan of the grape. I always kind of tended to try to get more of the cherry, kind of fake that cough like, mom, I need some cough syrup. Got coughed tonight. Shit, but this is like the foul cough syrup, bro.
Oh, that's awesome.
Scotty, you were sipping on some scissor since a youngster, huh? Sipping on some scissor since a youngster.
Oh, that's, believe me. You know it. Any way I could.
Scotty 2 shots.
That's right. You know it. Yes. Get that lean going. You know what I mean? Get the lean.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome.
Oh, okay, so Noar was saying it in the chat. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that 30 came out this morning. I got an alert this morning about it. Man, I got CCIV, man. That was my worst trade of the year. CCIV. I got in at $10 and averaged up all the way up to like 45, 50, I think, at one point even. And because this guy was the engineer on the Model S with Tesla and he knew how the blueprint worked, I was just like, oh, this is it. I was going down rabbit holes about Saudi Arabia and how they wanted to open up a plant out there and they might reverse merger with CCIV, and then it just all came to fruition and ran up so hot. But the second it was confirmed, the stock just dumped. Like the sell on the news was as hard as I've ever seen it. I was up like 80 grand on that trade and ended up losing. I don't even know what I ended up losing, like 60, 70K back, bro. It was like one of the grossest trades I had of the year, man. So, we make mistakes, man. That's why you do your own DD. We
Yeah,
make
that
mistakes. It happens. It's rare, but it happens.
that
It's
CCIV was ridiculous, and I remember that day. I just bought a couple call options because I had already made some money on the run up too. And then I just, I kind of got into the hype and just figured like, okay, it's going to keep running after this merger, and it ended up being a sell the news for sure. And you could
Yep.
just tell they, they were hammering that thing, intent on hammering that thing down to 20. Like I remember at one point there was like, they hit it so hard and you could tell it just kind of hit they were like stop loss hunting. And all of a sudden there was this huge drop. I mean, that was crazy. I can't. When was that? Was that February?
It was definitely earlier in the year for sure. I don't remember what
Maybe
month it was.
March. That was
I can
that
tell you
was.
this much. I got a boy that still has those same calls you speak about because we always do our calls late. Like we go 2022 if we can,
Oh yeah, just go
2023,
like with some leaps or something.
just in case. Yeah. So he actually has some
Guys,
calls.
I'm sorry. I need like 1 minute. I'm gonna have to mute it and step away. I gotta handle some business.
Well,
You
you
know what I
know
mean?
what, Scotty? I'm gonna end up. I'm hopping. I'm gonna hop off here in the next 5 minutes anyway. So, or you want to stay on, and that way you can come back and say what's up after you jump off.
If you're gonna be like 5, 10 more minutes, I'll hang in there and get to these folks then. You know what I
Okay, I
mean?
thought you had a phone
It's all
call.
good.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well. Let's close it because I got a lot of work to do, anyways, man. I got a bunch of schoolwork and everything else. So, couple things. One, Twitter Spaces today, this afternoon and every day. Go on Twitter, follow Wall Street Bet Degenerate. I'll actually be on there today because I'm not working today. So go down
Hey,
in the description of this video. Go give them a follow on Twitter, and then you could jump in the Spaces. Two, me and Ghost. Monday night we're doing the NFL show. No financial limits. We'll be talking stocks, crypto, NFL, sports, all that good stuff. And yeah, you guys go ahead. Ghost, go. You got anything you want to add on?
no, man. Just we having a good time out here, man. So follow us on Twitter. We all got Twitters, all three of us. We hit us up with this, man. I know that a lot of people hit me up with the fantasy advice. That's fun. I could give advice to fantasy, so please keep coming with that. With the financial questions you guys have, I'll tell you my outlook on them, but it's never to be taken as advice. We're blessed, man. This whole team that we got right now, to be honest, you got DGen, you got Al Trades, you got Coach, you got myself, you got L Train. We really do put together some bangers, man. So just keep your eyes peeled, man, on our Twitter handles because there's some stocks that we talk about that could potentially put them on your radar where you can do some DD and figure out if it's the move you want to play as well. And hopefully, man, that financial freedom that everyone seeks, man, you can be that much closer to it. You know what I mean? That's all I got though, man. Let's just have a good day, man. Let's hope for all these people that have a lot of speculation against CLOV right now and what the insiders of our CLOV feel. I could tell you from personal experience from the people that I do talk to and talk with on a daily basis. We have not sold a single share. We are only accumulating. There is no day trading on any of our shares that we've ever done, at least that I can vouch for. So I hope y'all have a blessed day and let's see CLOV, man, our biggest hold. Let's see CLOV start to make some traction, man. I know we got a lot of good news in the works. So yeah, that's all I got, man.
Well said
Absolutely.
by Ghost, and you know, unlike a lot of the fellas here, I am here strictly for the fun, and as a CLOV holder, I am not going to sit here and try to give financial advice to anybody because you know, that'd be a bad idea. I'll certainly give you fun advice and hanging out advice and sports I like, you know, like football and baseball. Other than that, I'm here to enjoy the fam, enjoy the you know, enjoy the peeps that I enjoy conversing with. And you can catch me later on today on the Tar Heel Show where we'll continue some drinking and stonk tales. And I thank you guys for having me as always. And it's always great speaking with you guys and the rest of the CLOV fam and the people in the chat anywhere. Any CLOV holder is a friend of mine.
All right.
Love it.
Well, good. All right, Scotty. All right, Ghost. Thank you. Everybody else. We'll
Thank
see
you
you
guys.
guys.
Have a great week.
See you guys next week.
Absolutely.
All right.